The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will come to order. Would the clerk please take attendance?
Chair Shannon.
Present.
Representatives McDonald. Present. Conlon.
Present.
Edwards.
Here.
Farhat.
Here.
Fitzgerald.
Here.
Hoskins.
Here.
Miller. Here. Outman.
Here.
Roth.
Yes.
Bruck.
Present.
Kuntz.
Here.
St. Germain.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 members present. You do have a quorum.
I need a motion to adopt minutes from our last meeting on February 27th. Representative Farhat makes that motion. Seeing no oppositions, the minutes are adopted. Today on the agenda, we'll be voting on House Bill 5150, 5127, and then taking testimony on House Bill 5304. We will quickly take the votes before testimony. First up is House Bill 5127. Any cards to read in? No. I need a motion to report House Bill 5127 with recommendation. Representative Hoskins makes that motion. Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
On the motion to report House Bill 5127, Chair Shannon.
Yes.
Representatives McDonald.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Farhat.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Here. Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Outman.
Yes.
Roth.
Yes.
Bruck.
Yay.
Kuntz.
Yes.
St. Germain.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. House Bill 5127 is reported with recommendation.
House Bill 5127 is reported with recommendation. Next up is House Bill 5150. Representative Roth is offering an amendment. Representative, would you like to speak to your amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very slow, very short. I will make this. Sorry. My amendment would just remove the 16 to 26 mile an hour speed limit. As I start looking at my rural roads, even 115 from Cadillac to Frankfurt is a 65 mile an hour road. 25 or more over is 90 plus mile an hour. No one wants to drive that on 115. Or 75 for that matter, up to the bridge. So that's the only reason I think it's dangerous in our area. I appreciate the time, Mr. Chair.
Of course, and I agree with you. Can I get a motion to adopt the amendment? Rep. St. Germain makes that motion. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
On the motion to adopt the amendment to House Bill 5150, Chair Shannon.
Yes.
Representatives McDonald.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Farhat.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Outman.
Yes.
Roth.
Yes.
Bruck.
Yay.
Kuntz.
Yes.
St. Germain.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The amendment is adopted.
The amendment is adopted. Do we have any cards to read on this one? No. Okay. I need a motion to report House Bill 5150 with recommendation as a new substitute. Representative Conlon makes that motion. Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
On the motion to report, Chair Shannon.
Yes.
Representatives McDonald.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Farhat.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Outman.
Yes.
Roth.
Yes.
Bruck.
Yay.
Kuntz.
Yes.
St. Germain.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 12 yeas, 0 nay, 1 pass. House Bill 5150 is reported with recommendation as amended as a new substitute.
House Bill 5150 is reported with recommendation as a new substitute. Okay. So up next, we have testimony on House Bill 5304. And Representative Bruck, if you'd like to join us up here. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Shannon. Thank you, committee. House Bill 5304. Just to prelude this, I will say that there's going to be a H1 substitute, which I'll talk about during the testimony. But I just want to bring up a couple things. This bill has to do with 3 lanes or more limited access freeways. This has to deal with traffic for vehicles that are 10,000 pounds GVW or more, and combination trailers, etc., in the bill. Our state has about, 563,000 plus miles of roadway. There's almost 10,000 miles of trunk lines, and 51% of our state traffic occurs on these 9,900 some miles. There's also 2,300 miles of interstate. There are a number of miles. We're trying to determine how many miles of 3 lanes or more are in Michigan. We could not figure out that number to date, but the longest 3 mile or 3+ lane highway is I-75 that goes all the way up to Saginaw. But I, like you, many times, driving down the highways, you are in this situation. And I think most Michiganders and anyone that drives can relate to this, is driving and you have multiple trucks, a lot of truck traffic, heavy vehicle traffic, and you are stuck behind 3 lanes or more of individuals that are driving at 65, 66, and 66.1 miles an hour. And you are in that left lane trying to get to where you want to go, and you cannot. So this law, in essence, the intent is to restrict vehicles that are 10,000 pounds or more to the right 2 lanes on a 3-lane or more limited access freeway. I've been working with both MDOT and MSP on this extensively, had a lot of meetings to get them to a point where they can be neutral on this. And we will talk about that momentarily. But we've all been in that situation. I've been to many other states. There's 13 other states that have restrictions on their 3-lane or more freeways that restrict heavy traffic to the right 2 lanes. So we could be the 14th state. I've done a lot of driving and seen those signs. The problem that lies in Michigan is that the MDOT, that organization can only make recommendations. So you've seen signs along the freeway that say, stay right except to pass. That's the enforcement that Michigan has on the books. So this would clarify this so MDOT could actually restrict the heavy traffic to remain in the right 2 lanes. Now the intent of this bill is to promote safety and ease of travel. The safety aspect regarding, people passing on the right, getting frustrated. Obviously, POVs or small vehicles, motorcycles, they're much faster than our heavy truck traffic. And there's a lot of instances passing on the right. The trucks are trying, they try to pass and they try to get over. It's a common sense issue that there's a higher incident of accidents and a higher, less safety when people are passing on the right. For the ease of travel, as well as keeping traffic flowing. On our highways, there's a minimum of 55, generally 65 for truck traffic, and then 70 for regular vehicle traffic. Some trucks drive much faster, some cars drive much faster, but for ease of travel, we would like to open up the leftmost lanes for that faster traffic and make it safer in the process. So essentially that's the intent of this bill. The H1 substitute bill will also, it'll strike a couple lines, a couple sentences in paragraph subsection 3. There's 2 sentences that will be struck, as well as adding in the work zones, construction zones, keeping, unless otherwise posted, keeping truck traffic to the rightmost lane in construction zones. As I said, unless otherwise posted, sometimes there's signs that say truck traffic to the left lane, if there's on the shoulder, they have them off to the shoulder and there's that incline, then MDOT can make that choice if it's a safer route to have the truck traffic on the left lane instead of the right. But these are kind of the issues that were brought to me, and that's what I bring to the committee today. And I would entertain any questions at this point.
Representative Miller.
So would this include not only commercial trucks, but say moving trucks, anything that's within the amount of weight?
Yes, if they're registered at 10,000 pounds gross vehicle weight or more in combination, I believe that also applies to combination in the bill, combination trailers and things.
And there's studies out there, I'm assuming, that show that this is effective?
Well, 13 other states have adopted
Right.
it for good reasons. So yes, I would assume. So I do not have the studies, here. I kind of go off of a lot of my own experiences and yours as well, that this is an issue on our major highways. There is an exception if there's, a exit to the left within a reasonable amount of time that they can be in the left lane, i.e., 23 going north, it goes to 96. It's 3 lanes. They can be in that left lane, but there's an exit to the left there.
Thank you.
Representative Kuntz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative, is there an existing law, and I should know this, I'm embarrassed I don't, is there an existing law that does not allow semis in the left lane now? What's the existing law?
The existing law is not clear because there is a section that allows in a 3-lane, having 2 lanes or more, that allows for vehicle traffic in all lanes as long as it's traveling in the same direction. So there's a little clarity, or I should say lack of clarity, and that's why MDOT can only place placards that say, stay in the right lane except to pass.
So this is a bit of and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or MDOT's mouth, who I'd love to hear your opinion. This is a cleanup bill. We're trying to define the intent. Yes, it's partially to clear up and define the intent as well as add the construction zone language in there as well, yes. And our esteemed guests would agree with that assessment?
Correct. It's to clean up a defect.
Troy, did you want to step up?
He didn't necessarily want to step up, but I think he will now. Thank you, Mr. Hagan.
Troy Hagan, Director of Government Affairs for MDOT. MDOT currently has no position because we're working with the representative on the H1. And once we see the H1, then we will reevaluate our position. But we did work with the representative as well as Michigan State Police in the drafting of this bill. And I would agree that there is a defect in the current law that we are trying to correct with Representative Bruck, who brought this to our attention. And I think we can successfully correct that defect in the H1.
So thank you both, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. And that's all I want to say. I think we're just clearing up the intent here. This isn't a new thing.
Yes, and in the current legislation, it says roadway, which is very bland and unclear. We're changing that language to limited access freeway.
Thank you both.
Clarify that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Conlon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your testimony. So I take it basically, how do we enforce this one? I mean, I guess it's just like anything with police officers seeing what's happening, but I take it like when I'm driving, I'm very aware of like trucks coming on, merging on, and then there might be another truck that kind of has to move, like is stuck behind another. I take it if you had to go in the 3rd lane to avoid an accident, you're not in trouble, because sometimes there can be a backup when people are merging.
Yes, ma'am. There is language that we're adding into there that for special hazards or closure of traffic or repairs, that there's that exception. But it would be through signage, number one, and then experience that people would gain on where they should be with the new law.
And I'd just like to clarify that MDOT is not the enforcement agency. MSP will be the enforcement agency. It'll be MDOT who's responsible for the signage of the law moving forward.
Which is why I brought MSP on it, from the get-go, because they have trouble enforcing, stay right except to pass too, because it's not clear enough. There's not language in there that, makes for those exceptions that anyone can try to get out of.
Committee members, any other questions? Okay. Thank you so much for your testimony today. Troy, thank you for coming up on the spot. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, of course. All right. So there being no absent members and being no further business before the committee will stand adjourned.